Hey everyone, just wanted to give you guys a little example of the type of seeds I send out with each copy of my book right now. So I just published on my Substack blog 26 reasons you should start or expand your garden in 2026. And in there you can see a long list of reasons why it's one of the most beneficial things you could do for yourself, for your community, for future generations at this point in time, whether it's a community garden or guerrilla gardening, or if you're blessed to have the space to do it in your own land. And so I want to show you that when I'm sending out my book, which basically offers a trail map all the way from a handful of seeds to tending them, to growing the seeds, to companion planting, to harvesting, preserving, and then enjoying your harvest, and then connecting the cycle back onto the earth through composting. I also send out seeds with each copy of my book. So people not only have the instructions on how to tend the earth regeneratively, so you're actually increasing biodiversity in the place where you're growing food, but also to have the seeds to start the cycle right off the bat. So here's an example of some of the seeds I have in abundance right now that I'm gifting to each person who buys a copy of my book. So this right here is temperate Tulsi. Now temperate Tulsi is native to Africa, I believe. Tulsi, otherwise known as holy basil, is known in Ayurvedic medicine for its many health benefits, from relaxing the nervous system to cognitive health to cardiovascular health to a long list of other things. And that one is also beloved by pollinators. So down here on the bottom right corner of my book, you can see a little solitary bee there enjoying some Tulsi nectar from a blossom in our garden. So those ones, they may not be native, but they're also beneficial to the local ecology, and they provide nutrient-dense food and medicine for humans, which helps us to boycott big ag and big pharma. So a really powerful ally in the garden right there. Tulsi can be grown as a perennial if you're in an area that only has mild frost, or if you bring it inside in a pot over the winter, and can live up to 5 years. Lemon balm, also not native to the area and is beloved by pollinators in a similar way to the Tulsi, but lemon balm, similarly, you can use it to make tea. It has really nutrient-dense leaves and a long list of benefits, from helping as a sleep aid to helping with immune system issues. And you just want to plan ahead for that one, because here in Turtle Island, it can grow quite aggressively compared to some of the herbaceous plants. So you wouldn't want to put it in an area where it could outcompete some of the other plants you want to be in there. I usually grow it in pots or in an area where I know it's going to be contained. Now this one here, I just harvested seeds from outside that were poking out of the snow and the dried flower heads. Those are echinacea seeds. So purple cone flowers, they're an extremely long-lived perennial. So purple cone flower individual plants can live up to a century. And interestingly, in a similar way to the rhizomatous plants like sweetgrass and camu roots, they benefit from human disturbance, from human intermittent harvesting. So when you go down and you take up some of the rhizomes and the roots and you separate them so you can make medicine, it actually stimulates more growth. And in a similar way to like coppicing hazel trees, let's say, you increase the longevity of the plant overall and the health of it. Echinacea are amazing for pollinators. You're going to see a whole range of butterflies and bees. And I like to leave most of the flower heads up in the winter because the little songbirds love to snack on the seeds. The little yellow finches and the cardinals and the swallows and a whole range of other little guys will come and snack on the seeds. So echinacea is an amazing ally in the regenerative garden because it lives so long. And I like to wild tend them out in abandoned fields to help kind of invite the pollinators back, give those monarchs a little something to snack on their way south, and just bring some beauty into the area. Red Russian kale. That's a brassica that's extremely cold hardy. It grows anthocyanin-rich leaves that are dark pink or purple, depending on how much cold it's been exposed to. I have it growing right out in my garden right now. There's about, 4 inches of snow on the ground, and the leaves will poke right through the snow. They're frozen solid, but they're still totally intact. When it thaws out in a couple days, they'll bounce right back and keep on growing. So that's a really resilient plant for northern climate growing, and super nutrient dense. There's a lot of recipes in my book that include kale. And then Hopi black sunflowers. So those ones are used by the Hopi people traditionally as a dye plant. The seeds of the flower are actually really high in anthocyanin, the same antioxidant that is present in blueberries and elderberries and a range of other berries. So they would soak those seeds, and then they would use that deep purple dye to dye cloth. But the seeds are also really nutrient dense and edible. And so what I'll do sometimes is I'll take the seeds, I'll soak them in water to get that antioxidant out of them. I get this really rich purple broth essentially, and then I'll cook something like rice in it. So I've got this antioxidants infused rice, and then I can eat the sunflower seeds as a separate thing. And of course, sunflowers are going to bring in a whole range of different pollinators, so they're really loved by the local pollinators. This is Hopi red amaranth, another traditional crop from the Hopi people from down south. So that one is going to grow beautiful tall flowers that are kind of like these golden ones here. This is golden giant amaranth seeds and flowers, except for the Hopi red ones are purple. So bright purple, rich in that same anthocyanin I was just talking about. And you can eat the seeds as you would eat quinoa or put poppy seeds in baked goods. I also make it into a homemade miso paste. And you can eat the leaves like spinach. So double food crop for humans, and it's an amazing contender for the Three Sisters gardening system. If you don't want to grow corn, or if you don't have the space for enough cross-pollination for corn, you can grow a couple Hopi amaranth plants and have your beans climbing up, and then your squash around the base, and you've got the Three Sisters system that are supporting each other. Anise hyssop, that one here, you can see a little bumblebee that's enjoying it on this flower in our garden. So anise hyssop grows these cylindrical, tall spike flowers. This giant anise hyssop that the seeds are for here can grow up to 6 or even 8 feet tall. It's beloved by the butterflies. The monarchs are always on there enjoying it. And then the seeds in the winter are a favorite snack of the birds. And the leaves are also really helpful for the immune system. So they're going to be included in a range of these other ones you see here, like lemon balm, tulsi, echinacea, and anise hyssop in my medicinal teas article, which is coming up. And last but not least, goji berries. Now they're native to Asia, but they're also very compatible with the local ecology here, where the native bees love them. So I see a lot of little mason bees, and I see the little hoverflies, and the bumblebees are all over my goji berry blossoms. So it's helping the local pollinators. And once you get a goji berry vine established, we have one that's like 30 feet long up our deck. We get 10 pounds of berries a year. So we can not only get 10 pounds of super nutrient dense food with very little work, but the leaves are also edible. Most people in the West don't know that the growth shoots and leaves of goji berries are nutrient dense and can be used in a similar way to spinach. So we get 2 crops from that one, and it grows with very little effort. Just an awesome plant to have, and can also live over a century. So if you're looking to start a garden this year and you've checked out my 26 Reasons to Start a Garden article, if you buy a copy of my book, Recipes for Reciprocity, The Regenerative Way from Seed to Table, this is the kind of seed collection that you can expect to receive with the book to get you started for next year. So I hope you guys are getting excited for tending the earth this year, getting out there, whether it's guerrilla gardening, community gardening, or gardening at home, because each little step we take in the direction of withdrawing our support from big agriculture and big pharma and giving our hands to tend the earth is a step in the direction of not only resisting tyranny and resisting ecological degradation, but standing on solid feet for building communities for the future.